Honestly, I want to give it a 4 out of 5. The themes were really good. It was about a synthetic sex worker that doesn't want that tries to free herself from being a sex slave, and her computer chip programs her to like force her to do sex work. And I really like that because it like relates to sex slaves in modern times. They're controlled just like the robot is, and I thought those themes were really I think they were done with taste. Some lines were a little unnecessary, and some of the characters I couldn't really tell who was speaking. It would be like Kat says or Christy says or Calvin says. But when I read the dialogue, it doesn't feel like they say it. It feels like they're all saying it together. I actually thought that maybe all of the robots had one conscious mind. But I don't think that's the case. And honestly, I'll give it a 3.5. But the first story is also maybe a 3. But I'm on story 3. And it's about a girl who sets out on a hunt for revenge by terrorizing her school with an ice-cold superpower. So it's inspired by Carrie. But it's actually really good. It's actually pretty good. Like there's like a whole bullying thing. Like right here it says, "Oh, we're sorry." I don't really like this school bully part because one, school bullies are used up all the time, so it's not really an original topic in stories anymore. And two, that's what happened to Carrie. She was like trying to kill people because they bullied her. And so this is similar. There's some really good lines in here. Look. XX Tentacion gets a shout out. Joji, the pink guy, he gets a shout out in this book also. That's pretty cool. The Rolling Stones has a shout out. We're gonna begin the story. I'm already in page like 3 or 4. So Charlie exits the restroom, seeing no one in the hallway. Blood streams past her sneakers. She doesn't glance back at the slashed corpses of the girls' study group, and she abandons the restroom. She leaves the door with its shattered frame and flicks on her hood. Her first song ends and the next song, "Look at Me," comes on. See? Bro, that's another... right here. That's another XXX song. That's so funny. She initiates the second step of Doomsday and sprints down the hallway. Monday's festivity decks her surroundings. Shirts of the New Jersey Devils cover the windows. On the doors, paper maches of a sobbing white dove wearing a banner with the word "Crybaby." Pink peep bunnies are glued to the lockers, and red initials COWYs replace the numbers on the clocks. Okay. She peeks into dark classrooms and double checks for stray students or teachers. She's hunting, bro. She's hunting. That's crazy. She spots no one through the door windows, which are shaped as butterfly wings. What? I've never been in a school where my door windows are shaped like butterfly wings. So I'm not, like, this is my friend. My friend's actually an author. So I'm gonna ask him what he means by that. I'm planning to do like a Q&A with him for this book. It's been out for 3 years. Why not? I don't care. Get some free promotion for him. For months, Charlie has planned Doomsday out everywhere she went. In class, during lunch, on the bus, at home. She surveyed and noted every inch of the school, found its blueprints online, Wrote a mental list on who gets to live and die. Currently, everyone's dying. Nothing personal, just necessary. She exits the hallway and sneaks around on the second floor. Walls also don't shelter the floor from nature. This part of Wyoming experiences so much drought that there are no weather hazards to protect this floor from, other than these clouds, a first all year. Charlie scans what's behind her middle school for scrutiny. Oh, security. At first, a desolate bus lot. Beyond that, mooing cows, chirping American robins, and barking dogs on miles of grazing land. Sunlight dances along the new freeways, green parks, and golden suburbs that breathe life into Monarch around the grazing land. I don't think I know what Monarch means. That breathe life into Monarch around the grazing land. I don't think I know what Monarch means. Let me see. A monarch is like highest authority, so I'm gonna ask him how. I don't know. Behind all of this, the city's famous orchid farms are arranged as a purple horizon on bronze soil. Okay. But none of it captures Charlie. If anything, it's boring. She doesn't want to face the blue sky anymore. Next time she looks up, she wants to see a floating land of gray clouds. She scoffs at Monarch and returns to her plan. What? Adornments cling to the second floor from Tuesday. Black metallic roses twine around the outside columns and party decorations trim the concrete ground. She creeps under the windows of the administrative offices, which create a rectangular perimeter at the center of the second floor. Paperwork, golden chains, and shades hang from the outside doorknobs. They keep glaring back at the clocks with time as of the essence. They must be at the assembly in 10 minutes to catch students who try to ditch school. She makes it to the outside corner of these offices, and she stops. She hears something in front of her. Muffling and shuffling sounds from black and blue trash cans behind rows of outside lockers. Students pop out of them and gather by a staircase at the end of the lockers. Lyrics from the song Dior shroud each step of the staircase on white paper. These ditchers keep quiet and sneak around the staircase that leads to the first floor like a stony tongue. They head to the library instead, which sits diagonally from the administrative offices. She can't proceed with the second step of doomsday. She must improvise and take care of these ditchers. The library looms over the outside courtyard. The ditchers will sight her from the library windows when she strolls through the courtyard and notify someone. She crouches under an outside water fountain hidden from teachers in the administrative offices. She closes her eyes and switches to her secret sense. She returns her mind to the clouds and, with a mental microscopic vision, perceives the clouds as they truly are. Accumulated masses of pearly white snowflakes sparkle in her mind. Their cold cores almost feel warm to her and she vibrates them. By the time the clouds overshadow the school, they weep white tears on the black brick building. She summons stronger winds from the clouds and scatters snow across the second floor. The ditchers lift their scarves, protecting their pimply faces from the hoarding snow. They rush into the library that the old hag, the librarian, left open. The teachers notice the sudden snowfall and scratch their dandruff heads. They finish up with their paperwork, flick off the lights, lock the offices, and make their way to the gymnasium down the staircase. None of them notice Charlie, whom the snow conceals, and walk right past her. Once the administrative offices go completely silent and the teachers desert the second floor, she darts to the library. She treads through the snow, making as much little noise as possible. The gusts of wind mask her crunching footsteps. Hold on, let me reread a little bit. Oh, I see. Oh. She summoned the snow. I was wondering, I was like, why is it snowing? Huh. They scratch their dandruff heads. Alright. She enters the library with the ditchers leaving the doors open like the old hag. She stalks the ditchers like a beast of prey and she shakes off her hoodie's snowy mane. They goof around to the library's shutter windows and she slithers around the bookshelves. She takes brisk but soft steps. They sense a disturbing presence among them and look over their shoulders. She crouches in a pocket of shadow casted by the bookshelves. They disregard it with laughs and squeaky voices and stream their breaking live with their phones. 5 people hop onto their streams. She closes in on them, waiting for the right moment to attack. Since Wednesday, a glittery number set 999 traces all of the bookshelves. Album covers of Goodbye and Good Riddance and Death Race for Love coat the tables and inflatable earth globes suspended from the ceiling on white strings. The ditchers, in unison and off-key, sing Robbery by Juice WRLD. No way! That's awesome. As they walk by school computers. Colorful paper cutouts of the late rapper occupy the computer desks. Midway in the song, the biggest among them, the self-designated leader says, "We made it in, people. The old hag slipped up." They acclaim their break-in by cheering and chanting the song's anthem. "We are the dragons. When we come, victory is imagined." I don't know why I'm thinking about Queen. So you are saddened that this happened. After the chanting, the leader says, "Man, I wish I was 10 years old." Another one of them, munching on Pocky, says, Misty don't want your fugly ass." Everyone but the leader burst out in laughter. "Whatever, dipshit. You're the reason Delilah went gay," the leader snarls back. It's a little childish. How old are these kids? The group glance at each other, and the munching student says, "That's offensive, bro. That's what the doctor said when you were born." They all laugh, almost peeing themselves. The munching student almost chokes on his chocolate-dipped water sticks, and the leader snatches one. The lanky giant in the group unzips his jacket and says, "Now, if I was 10 years older, I know where I would head out." The munching student with a mouthful shouts, "The garden!" Hell yeah. They high-five each other and the leader snickers. "Got something to say? The only person that wants you is Junior," the giant student says. The group mocks the leader and the leader faces the giant student. Charlie slides under a table and hides behind a chair. The leader faces his phone camera towards him and turns on his flashlight. "My eyes, what the fuck?" the giant student says. The leader flashes the light behind him and Charlie holds in her breath. The rest of them join him and flash more lights around Charlie's area. She blends in the darkness and none of them catch her. They flip their cameras back to the shiny train tracks on their teeth and change the topic. One viewer in the stream comments that there's a socketless ghost under a table. None of them believe the viewer and act afraid. She carefully crawls out from the table and jumps over the library's circulation desk at the right side of the library. She crawls under a long desk heading for the windows. A mural of H.P. Lovecraft, Edgar Allan Poe, H.G. Wells, Kushin Takami, Ray Bradbury, and Stephen King decorate the wall beside her. Obsidian monarchs flutter around the writers. Oh, monarch butterflies! Oh, I got it. Alright. Skulls grin demonically on their wings. Ooh. The riders overshadow with abysses for eyes, decrying no fear or just judgment in her. Unlike with other students, that's why no one but her brothers to get that's why no one but her brothers to get near the circulation desk. Brothers? Because there's a comma before brothers, so I'm not sure how he's trying to say that. She steals the black market from a cabinet by the library computer and looks over the circulation. The ditchers vape like chimneys and record themselves doing trending dances. She scoffs at them and rushes over to the mural. She doodles a face, the voice of her generation, next to Stephen King. She leaves the marker behind and advances to the ditchers. XXX Tentacion joins the mural joins the mural as the new prophet of horror. A black broken heart radiates as his halo. She has enough body water to protect herself, but not enough to render the ditchers. She needs to get to the windows and blow in some snow. Bro, New Eden got shut down, the leader says. No, the group says in unison. Yeah, something about the synthetics having a mass malfunction. Heard a couple people died, he explains. So, in short film, in the short story number 1, it took place in like a truck stop, and then short story number 2, they talked about, which is called New Eden, and it's about synthetics going crazy. And I think they said something about a truck stop, and I thought, oh, maybe they're connected, but they only said it one time, so I couldn't figure it out. But now that we're reading short story number 3, it seems like he confirmed that they are connected, bro. So that's cool. Let's continue. I wonder if that's how Stephen King writes. I wonder if his short story collections are connected. I'm not sure. I would have to read it. If I can be with one of them for a minute and they kill me right after, I lived a full life, the munching student says. The others pat him on the back, agreeing with him. They chill by the windows and recharge their vapes. They revel in the juicy smoke. Charlie reaches the edge of the circulation and leaps over it. She verges upon the windows, staying in the shadows. Crash! She punches through a window and snow slips in. The ditchers jerk up and turn to the broken window. A thick mist builds up rapidly in the library and blinds them. Let's bounce, the leader says. They sprint to the door, leaving their phones on. A spike of viewers erupt on their streams. They bump into desks and knock over chairs. They run into bookshelves and step on each other's feet. Hold on. Oh. The mist is too thick for their phone flashlights. Charlie, however, sees through the mist clearly and sprints past them. A shadow darts by them and they panic. The disturbing presence returns to them and they point their phones towards that direction. But their flashlights can't pierce through the mist still. The mist thickens and the snow blows heavier. Hell deflects off their jackets, the wind almost scoops them off their feet, and the disturbing presence doesn't disappear. This isn't good, the munching one says. No shit, Sherlock, the leader says. More like moron, homie, the giant student points out. They approach the door and a shadow stands in their way. The disturbing presence emits from the shadow and they rebuke it with vile comments. Would you like to move? We're fucking freezing. Bitch, what are you doing? I would like it if I didn't freeze here. Move, bitch. Get out the way. I get the pun, but it takes me out the story. Oh, man. This started really good. It started really good. But the kids are a little childish. I understand. But in Carrie, Carrie was real. You know, I felt like the characters were real. Do the characters feel real here? I think so. There's no build up for the main character. I think it's more like it's like this story is obviously written as like a love letter for Carrie, for Stephen King, really. So it's obvious, you know, she's taking vengeance off her bullies. So it's relatable. The other girls, they all seem to be doing the same thing, taking selfies. Like there's no it's as if all of the characters are just one character again. I'm trying to find what makes each one different. You know? Look, I'm not a good writer either. Well, I'm not a good writer, so I wouldn't know how to do that. Let's just continue. The shadow cracks its neck and it freaks them out. The mist settles and the shadow reveals it to be Charlie. The leader recognizes her by the sneakers and asks, Charlie, aren't you Issa's side piece? The mist temperature plummets to 40 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. I'm out, the giant student says. He lunges towards the door exit, but Charlie thickens a portion of the hell and showers it on him. The group record the hell tears them apart like a pack of savage lionesses. Ice builds around their shoes and glues them to the floor. They try to run away, but they can't. More ice travels up their legs and freezes their legs into flimsy popsicles. Ooh, now it's getting intense. Their bodies react dramatically to the sudden drop in temperature. Breathing in the cold air stings their lungs. Their blood flow reduces, numbing certain parts of their body. They shiver with frostbite that spreads across their exposed skin. The snow whisks away their phone, and they slowly perish in the snow. Damn, that's sad. That was a nice little passage. That's probably my favorite. Well, I really like how this story started. Like, it started really cool. Let me show you. It feels like she glances at her hands, clothed in frayed bandages, and summons a chill in her entire body. It feels like her veins are freezing and her blood flow stops. The chill numbs her pumping heart from her, and she tunes into her quieting mind. Transparent clouds of frosty air rise from her hands as she embraces the chill. That's really good. We'll move on. Books soar off the shelves, hell slashes the mural, and snow crashes the computers. Crushes. After 10 minutes, the ditchers stiffen under a layer of crackling ice. Their frozen tears slice their eyes in half. Whoa, that's a little dark. Their scarves violently banner, and their shoelaces slip out of the lace holes. Their phones black out from the cold, and viewers are left with countless questions. She watches them die from hypothermia under the ice and buries most of the library in snow. She walks away, abandoning the ditchers, and steps on their phones. They appear to her like pieces of a chess set, pawns for their queen, her, but none of it seems right. You don't always have to sacrifice your pawns in this game. A student idles at the bottom of the second floor staircase and waits for his cue. He scrolls through his phone, not noticing the unusual snowfall. Only his fingers move. He then streams his favorite TV comedy, for shits and giggles, on his phone and shuts himself off from the world. He sits on the concrete edge of the first floor's peace garden. As it runs along a wall, forgotten trinkets stick out of the small plot of crumbling dirt and drooping plants. Dented ashtrays, tossed trash, and old joints disguise themselves in the snow. A plastic MF Doom mask slants up on a memorial pole. Students dive their arms into their wall lockers behind him. A teacher rushes them as the students dump heaps of homework into the metal coffins. They slam their lockers shut and scurry away with the teacher. Beyond the lockers, a custodian locks up the principal's office. A purchase as the school's heart, the base of the administrative offices. The idling student receives a text message and glances over it. It's showtime, Jahesh. Make sure. He grumbles to himself and closes the message. He stuffs himself into the school's mascot costume. It's like it's a turkey on Thanksgiving. A sudden chillness overcomes him and he seeks refuge in the costume's trapped heat. He thinks about everything and anything to ignore the body odor in the suit for survival. But really, snow? It's almost summer. The cold hits and he waddles back and forth for warmth. The weather transforms him into a pale butterfly and his pacing shakes off snow on his wings and antennas. I have to go soon. Crunch, 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 crunch. Jahesh hears someone walking down the staircase and turns around. He spots a monarch on the stranger's hoodie and he performs a cartwheel for them. The stranger doesn't snicker. Charlie, you know you love my moves, he asks. He hops onto the staircase and she meets him at the bottom step. She doesn't reach his chin and he says, "What's up, short stack?" She shrugs. "Are you okay?" She stares at him through her mask and he points towards the second floor with a chin. She nods. "I'm sorry to hear that. You don't deserve that." She shrugs again. "No. Those fuckers. If I could beat them with a bat, I would. I would." She walks past him and opens an exit door next to the Peace Garden. She leaves it open for Jahesh and he gives her a look. "What's going on, Charlie? What are you planning?" He notices blood on her sweats and he takes another step up the staircase. "What did you do?" he asks her. She glares at him. He grabs her wrists and shouts, "What did you do?" She gently removes his hand from her waist and motions to the outside bus lot with her head. He takes the third step up and grabs his mitt. She shakes her head and the truth sinks in him. He shudders from it as his entire plan to fetch someone collapses like a house of cards. "No, she couldn't." "Really?" he asks. She nods. He hops off the staircase. Oh man. I don't even know who this kid is. He's on his phone. Jahesh. What I'm trying to say is, if we build, the relationship between these two characters, because obviously he feels a little betrayed maybe with Charlie, because she did what she's doing and he's like, "Oh, how could you?" But I don't feel it as the reader. I don't feel the pain because I just met this kid and he's going through something and I just don't. I need to care more about this character. He hops off the staircase and rushes out through the exit door. Charlie closes the door and freezes his hinges, but maybe she's just gonna kill him, so he's just killer fodder. What was that? That was weird. Charlie... The next song, Infinity 888, booms in her ears and drives her to proceed with Doomsday. For a second, she wonders if she's going to feel something. She waits in the chilling winds and twiddles her hoodie straps. However, the song almost comes to an end and nothing overcomes her. She vacates the Peace Garden and heads for the doors that open up to the outside courtyard. Her playlist plays Floor 555 and she preps mentally for step 4 of the plan. Halfway in the bus stop, Jahesh halts and catches his breath. He turns back to the school and thinks to himself, "But my friends." He stops between two school buses, watching the shadowy school vanish more in the snowstorm, and shakes his head. "Why, Charlie?" Screen after screen switches to static in the cramped police office. 3 distressed police officers buzz around the office like headless chickens. With the school's electricity and internet service shutting down, the officers scrambled to find their emergency equipment. Out of nowhere, a massive blizzard assaulted the school and damaged their antennas, satellite dishes, and cameras. It also trapped teachers and students in the gymnasium while it flooded the school with snow. Monarch's official flag, a purple rectangle with the butterfly and the city's name in white, hangs over the door and reminds them of their duties. A purple rectangle with the butterfly. I'm trying to imagine what that would look like. I don't even know what city they're in. Private Marlton Jr. Mason, almost slipping out of his tight Hawaiian shirt, combs through cabinets for flashlights and walkie-talkies. Oh my gosh, what if they didn't work? What if they do work? What do we do then? Use our phones or those flares? But where are they? I'm gonna end the live. I have to go to work. I'm tired as well. I'm like pretty tired. I need coffee. I have to go buy some coffee. I'll see you guys later, alright? Wizazen.